It's time to do this now, to start over, to start a new path, a new direction. But it doesn't mean you're starting from zero. It means you're just starting to let yourself express and the world know this new version of you that wants to really take charge. Are you being inundated? Are you being bombarded by the numbers 1010 or 1212? Especially, the way the universe communicates is through numbers, because that is a message that cannot be misinterpreted. My name is Sonia Choquette. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, I am teaching everyone how to raise your vibration from 3D to 5D, how to communicate with your angels and guides in a very real way, and how to turn on your intuitive senses, which you need to navigate this world today. And so welcome. I hope you find something here valuable. And if you're coming back, welcome back. We are on a very important subject today, which is recurring numbers of 1010 and 1212. Now, the funny thing, it's not funny, but the divine humor of today is just as I was about to press play on this video, I looked at my clock. It was 1212. So I know that I am definitely in alignment here, and we're not alone. There are so many guides that are here to help us. So first of all, these two recurring numbers are different than other numbers in that they're not just a message, they are portals and they are invitation to very specific things. 1010, if that shows up for you, that is a very strong invitation, an indication that you are on the path and at the portal of a new beginning. One that puts you in charge of your life. One that will allow you to be the leader. Whether it's starting a new business or leaving a relationship and starting a life on your own. Whether it's starting a new project, a new book, a new company, a new idea. Even simple as a garden, which nourishes your well-being and expresses your creativity, which are very high priorities for your soul's purpose in life. When you get a 1010, pause and ask yourself, what am I thinking about beginning? What is my intuition guiding me to begin? What have I begun? Have I committed? Am I 2 feet in, or am I just circling the wagons? This a friend of mine used to say, because you want to put 2 feet in. That's the opportunity of 1010 as a portal. Because when you put 2 feet in, the universe will put their equal match and are going to help you in this new beginning. And it's a big rise. When you get that 1010 several times, it's like it's a strong pull from the universe. It's time to do this now, to start over, to do this, to start a new path, a new direction. But it doesn't mean you're starting from zero. It means you're just starting to let yourself express and the world know this new version of you that wants to really take charge. I had a client years ago who worked as a secretary in a phone company. Well, it's kind of like a phone answering services admin group. Like, I guess you'd call it a virtual assistant, but it was the pre-virtual assistant. And she really didn't like it. She was good at it, but she really didn't like it. And she kept getting 1010, 1010, 1010. And when she asked me, what's that about? I said, it's a new beginning. Your guides want you to go into a different direction. Your higher self wants you to go in a different direction. What would you really like to do? And she said, well, I'm on the phone all the time and I'm good with people, but I'd rather sell because I think I could be a good salesman and make a lot more money and it would be more meaningful. And we said, what would you like to sell? And she said, cars. And that was funny because it didn't seem like something that she didn't present as a car maniac, but she said, I like to sell cars. I like to sell luxury cars. So I said, well, you got 10 times, go for it. Now, they were living on a very restricted budget, her husband and 2 kids, and he wasn't really up for the risk, but she did it anyway. And would you believe the first year she got Salesman of the Year? And she was on her way, high flying to something that was very exciting for her and very, very financially rewarding across the board. And I asked her, what do you attribute, when she came back to share the good news, I said, what do you attribute that to? She said, first, the encouragement to start over that you said, because it kept coming and kept coming, and I knew that 10-10 meant something. And secondly, I looked at what I was doing, which is a lot of talking to people and a lot of comforting them and reassuring them, explaining things to them. And I realized that was a bit of salesmanship, and I wanted to sell things I loved. I wondered what would happen if I did what I loved. And this is what happened. So can you imagine? It just didn't surprise her, but it was surprising all the way around that it turned out to be such a beautiful new beginning. So if that's any number for you, 1010, that's a new beginning number. Now, 1212 is as another portal, and it's a bit different. It is the path that says that it's time to step up in your spiritual development. That doesn't mean to become religious, and it doesn't mean to follow anybody. To be spiritual at its core is to be self-aware, and to recognize the self you want to become aware of is your divine spirit. And to begin living your life with that understanding, leaving the ego behind and really recognizing I am a beautiful and beloved, gorgeous, unlimited divine spirit, and I need to actually commit my consciousness to accepting that, living with that, and expressing that in how I move through life. In other words, to start finding an inner connection to your true self, your authentic self, to recognize the spirit of you is beautiful, to recognize that as a divine spirit, you are a powerful manifester, not at the mercy of a thing, that you want to learn. So this is a portal that invites you to learn, to grow, to self-study, to be honest, to ask yourself what you're seeking in life, what's missing, and that you have an enormous support system helping you, because you have the one, which is I, and the two, which is the mirror of the universe back, saying, we're going to help you. We're going to work with you. You're going to rise. Now, the interesting thing about this particular portal is that it might be a call for you to do some sort of spiritual work. I know I just finished a certification training for people who wanted to do intuitive guiding, helping, coaching for people to help people get back to their authentic self and frequency, and to help their clients raise their vibration. That, for many of them, they reported was a 12-12 impulse. They kept seeing 12, 12, 12, 12, and then they saw this opportunity to be in a deep professional training, and they said, this is exactly what I was looking for in life. So it doesn't mean you have to necessarily see my path as the one, but you might be being called to a path of spiritual guidance for others. The planet really needs it. And if you're seeing 12-12, it might be, it's time. I've had a number of conversations with clients who call for a personal consultation, and one of the things they'll say, when I ask what are your questions after I give them my direction, they'll say, well, you've already answered it, but I feel like I'm called to do something more meaningful. And what I say to them is that you're not confused. You want confirmation. So maybe if you're seeing 12-12, there's some confirmation sign coming to you to do what you're called to do, to begin coaching or healing work or energy work or meditation classes or teaching yoga or anything that will strengthen the connection to one's soul and authentic self in any capacity. Any capacity. You might be called to go to school or become a therapist or be a doctor or change the way you're doing your life. So 12-12s will show up saying, you've got this. You can rise. You can come out of the background. You can speak up, and you know what you're doing. 12-12s also speak to people who have a lot of past lives and have developed skills over many, many lifetimes that they have not necessarily fully acknowledged because the training wasn't in current lifetime, but they just know things. I have a client who kept getting 12-12s, and it was and I said, well, what is your spiritual calling? And he said, to paint. But I didn't go to art school. I don't have any formal training, but I I know I can do it. And he did. He started painting. And before a year went past, he started getting commissions for murals in people's homes, on their walls, in their backyard. And he just recently got one in the city he lives in. So the 1212 is your soul, your own spirit, along with your divine support system, communicating to you that it's time to give what you're called to in your heart an opportunity to express in the world. That's probably the biggest communication of 1212. And when I saw the 1212 just before I spoke, I laughed because 1212s are guides coming together saying, we're mirroring you. We're here. We want to help. So this is a transmission, not just a communication from a video. This is a transmission from the guides saying, we've got you. We will help you. So what is your soul calling you to begin? Where are you holding yourself back? Very important. Where are you doubting or staying in your head thinking, I need another class, another lesson? Possibly you may benefit from more training, but I wouldn't hold back because of it. Or maybe the 1212 is saying, get the training. Follow through because you have soul history, lifetimes of history in this particular calling. This is a vocational calling, repetitious number. So these are two. I'll talk about others, but if these two have shown up, new beginnings, it's time for newness. 1. And the 0 is the universe's source, support, the endless amount of support coming your way, because that 0 doesn't represent empty, it represents source. So we are being leveled up as a species. We are stopping this living exclusively in the ego. We are stopping being stuck in our heads, and rational logic is our God. Thank God, right? Thank God. We are not going to be trapped by technology, or we're not going to be defined by everything outside of us anymore. People are leveling up. Is your intuition activating? Are you getting more downloads and clear signs? Put it in the comments. Is 1212 showing up? Are you called to a particular vocation? Begin it, even if it's just start your website. Are you being clearly guided to start something new, to make a big change? Do it. Really, do it. This is the moment in time, and you have so much support to know that no matter what, nothing about these invitations says you have to do it by yourself. And that is the big change. As you open up your inner senses and your guidance, you're going to feel the guides. And you don't have to hope they're there. You're going to feel that experience like someone's in the room with you. And as you step into these callings, you're going to feel a wave of inner peace, that it is just not something you can make up. So if you're new to my channel, thanks for being here. And for all of you who've come, thank you for being here. And please help my channel by, 1, giving me a thumbs up. And also, and more importantly, please subscribe, because this is a classroom. And every week we put out very important information from the higher self, the angels, the guides, the teachers, and will help you grow in a way that is very important. If you want to know a little bit more about purpose in life, maybe you'll want to read my book, Soul Mastery, which was channeled by the guides who are helping give this message, Soul Mastery. My latest book was out about not quite a year ago, 8 or 9 months. You can find that book. And also, please leave your comments below, because this is a classroom that wants to support you, your growth. And if you don't have support, consider joining my Good Vibes Tribe, which I'll also put a link in below, because that is a community of people who are very committed to growing your inner senses, to growing your connection with your angels and guides, and to growing a community that is very genuine, very real, and we really interact. And we have a lot of really enjoyable time together. So those are some things that could be supportive to you, because you don't want to do it alone. Okay, thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you next week. All my love.